Good day, everybody. It's September the 19th, and the year is 2022. My name is Dexter Nathan. I live in Canada, and my exposure to India is largely through books, movies, uh, reading, and acquaintances, and so on. A movie plays a big part of the my India. And although three generations ago, my roots go back to India, my paternal grandfather is said to be from Pudukkottai, uh, Ramanathapuram district. Anyways, all that apart, I might I like to review movies that impact me. Uh, and Recently, I watched a movie, and I reluctantly watched it. Uh, but then halfway through, I realized that I was all engrossed in the movie. It's a movie by well-known director Gautam Vasudev Menon, and the title of the movie is Vendhu Thanindhathu Kaadu. So, what does Vendhu Thanindhathu Kaadu means? Vendhu Thanindhathu Kaadu means in English. We all know the English expression, the calm before the storm. This may be loosely translated as calm after the wildfire or the calm after the forest fire. As usual, when you translate from one language to the other, you cannot capture the same uh, the beat. It sounds better in Tamil, but when you translate into English, when you translate, it doesn't capture the same beat. All that apart, that's usual. Uh, talk about the movie for a moment. Gautam Vasudev Menon, a director in a class of his own, makes sort of his movie making style is very unique. It makes the movie look more like a sophisticated style, and what else? More to do with upper middle class people. And in this movie, Vendhu Thanindhathu Kaadu, uh, it's a whole different plot line. He's dealing with a rustic family, uh, mother, 20-year-old son, and a younger sister to that to the young lad. Mother is played by Radhika. I mean, I've seen she can act. I can she's coming from a good stock. Her father is a well-known actor of the bygone years, M.R. Radha. So I mean, I guess it runs in the genes. She can act, and she pulls it off really well. The distraught mother, pain-stricken face, sad, grief, helpless, pathetic-looking village woman. Everything, everything is written on her face. She pulls it off so well. Uh, San is played by the young actor known as Silambarasan, also known as Simbu, and he's the protagonist of the movie. And he has a younger sister, of course, she's like 13, 14. A small family. There is no father in the family, widowed mother. Simbu is going out and working. He's apparently had finished his college or university or something like that in the story the story of in the story of the movie, and he is in the process of clearing the land that they had, but it's a parched land. It just drought stricken, so he's working hard, and clearing the cutting down the trees, and it has the land is so full of those thorns, the plants, the thorny plants, and it's dry. But anyway, to cut to the chase, some fellow comes there to deliver a message. Inadvertently, he throws his cigarette butt into these uh, the trees, or the plants Simbu has been cutting and putting aside. The whole thing catches fire, and the next thing, the whole area is gutted by fire. The forest he was trying to for no some kind of, I wouldn't say it's forest per se, it's a land. Everything is gutted by fire. So they have to fend for themselves. They're poor folks, village rustic folks. The mother has an older brother who is doing well. He's apparently got into the storyline. He's working in Bombay, in a restaurant, and they believe he's running a restaurant and doing well. Uh, but later it unfolds that he is in a whole different ball game. So mother Radhika, Simbu, and the younger sister have no source of income, no recourse, and unable to fend for themselves. They show up at their uncle's place, mother's older brother. The the uncle's wife is not very receptive. She ignores them, but the mother Radhika pleads with her older brother. Finally, he kind of feels pity. He says, "Okay, leave the young fellow with me, and I'll take him to Bombay, and we'll see how that goes. And got to work hard and whatnot." So Radhika leaves the son, takes her daughter, and goes back to her village. And Simbu, the same night or whatever, something happens. He gets a message or some. No, he's woken up from sleep, and something happens, and his uncle commits suicide by hanging himself. I guess usually they hang themselves in the fan, and then that's what happened. So he leaves something, and Simbu also accidentally notices in the bundle of things is in his room. He notices a handgun, and quickly he takes it and hides it and keeps it with himself. And after the funeral, he has to restore something his uncle has left. It has to go back to that restaurant, or in Bombay where he was working, or where he's made where they were made to believe that he runs that business. Apparently, he's not running that business. He's working for a undercover mafia of some kind, uh, gangsters. So in this, that's not even a sophisticated restaurant. It's like a parota, like a street side parota eatery or whatever you call it. Simbu ends up, and and he's given a place with you know with the usual hurdles in the beginning. They're not welcoming and whatnot, but in the end, he stays with them. They're like 30, 40 young men in in the premises that's part of this paroda eatery or whatever. They're they're sleeping in that area like cattle, and like side by side. And so what happens, Simbu wants is determined. He wants to do well in life, but the twist of fate, what s- fate has in store, or destiny has in store, seems to be far from what he wanted. But he's determined to do well, and he's a good young fella. He wants to take care of his mother, take care of his sister, do well and be well, and wants to be a very law-abiding man. But where he, where he is by by I don't know, uh, by sheer misfortune, he ends up in this restaurant eatery that's more like a area where they do every questionable illegal, from murder to illicit business, all working for these gangsters in Bombay City. So Simbu gets involved in that, and interesting chain of events, and the movie is very well made. And kudos to Gautam Vasudev Menon. It's uh, it's a watchable movie, a good movie. It's not like the usual, the stupid stuff where people have to whistle and hero, the average-looking scrawny hero beats up 50 people and punches, and they fly through the wall, breaking. No nonsense. It's That's Gautam Vasudev Menon. That's his movie making, and I liked it. It's a good movie. It's You can say it's a crime thriller. I somehow think it. He probably got. I could be wrong. He probably got the inspiration for the movie from the 1982 Hollywood movie Scarface. Al Pacino. Al Pacino is playing the similar story. Mother, younger sister, and they are coming from Cuba. Actually, it's based off some true incident, because when Ronald Reagan was the president of US, uh, and Fidel Castro was totally vehemently against US, but of course it's a communist state, Cuba, and US wanted, how USS where US United States want to completely eliminate socialism and communism from planet Earth, and they want to be the sole power. I mean, these are and so in order to they do all kinds of things using their. I don't want to talk about it. That's not the subject we are talking about today. So anyway, the real incident was Ronald Reagan invited the Cuban refugees to come over and to stay states to if they are fleeing from uh, Fidel Castro's communist regime, and he openly declared U.S. is will give will be a safe haven, and they can start a new life. After that announcement, as I understand, subject to correction, Fidel Castro did something. He opened up all his jails in the country. All the hardcore criminals, put them in a ship. Okay, go to the United States, go ruin their country, and all these criminals ended up in United States, Florida, whatever state. And so Al Pacino is one such fellow from a criminal background, and so that's the story. But I guess what Gautam, I could be wrong. Forgive me, Gautam Vasudev Menon. But you have done a different job. It's okay to see. You can get inspired by a book, by a movie, but the problem, inspiration should be there, but you don't copy something word to word or scene to scene or whatever, that's not what, like Bahubali, I would say, was came from the inspiration the director Rajmouli had from Mahabharat. If you look at the character, you will understand, right? And I don't want to go into these are I don't want to digress, but so Scarface, what Gautam Vasudev Menon had done, completely created new characters, but from a but the storyline in somewhat resembles that, the mother daughter, older brother fleeing, and so in this case, uh, see, Al Pacino plays a psychotic character in Scarface. Here, Simbu is made to play a very subdued character, very somewhat, uh, somewhat very backward village youth, very crude and unsophisticated. But there's a fire in him. He wants to succeed in life, and it's beautifully made. Excellent movie. I would recommend everybody to watch this. And Gautam Vasudev Menon, kudos to you. Radhika, well done. And Simbu, he has done a good job uh, playing the mild mannered characters. It's just I'm not. I usually don't watch his other movies, but he sort of. I think it's lot of it goes to the uh, director's contribution, and because he has molded the character in such a way, and Simbu has lost body weight, and he tried to fit into the character so aptly, and he has done a good job. So, you know, got to give the credit where it's due. Good job. Good job, Simbu. Excellent job, Gautam Vasudev Menon. Radhika, par excellent. Good movie. Watch it.